Hey guys, this is Thomas Cox at MealFit, and we're answering your nutrition and fitness questions. So the question today that we have, and whether you guys got these questions into us, is on Instagram. We posted a question, hey, give us your questions about nutrition and health, and we've got these wonderful, deep questions that people have submitted. The first person we have today is Chip Buck. Chip is from Birdstown, Tennessee, and he's got a question. It's a great question. So the question is, when talking about health and nutrition, do people forget things like artificial sweeteners, colors, and flavors? Shouldn't good food be real food? Absolutely. So let's talk about why people forget these artificial sweeteners and colorings and flavorings. So artificial sweeteners. So let me give you a disclaimer here. Don't have a degree in health and nutrition and sciences. All of my wisdom and knowledge is from experimenting on myself, experimenting on other people, and really self-taught in a lot of ways. So that's where these are more of opinions than they are anything. The wisdom that we've got here are things that have worked, either worked on me or worked on other people. So there's my disclaimer. So let's talk about this question about the artificial sweeteners and colorings. So artificial sweeteners are a marketing thing, in my opinion, because what happens is if you use a sucralose or a sweet and low or something that's a 0 calorie, people love to say that it's 0 calorie. Just because it's 0 calorie doesn't mean it doesn't still raise your insulin. So just because it's an artificial sweetener doesn't mean that you're not getting the insulin rise. You may not be getting as many calories, but you're putting number one, you're putting a chemical in your body, okay? Number two, what you're doing is you're still getting the insulin rise. And that's really what we want to avoid here in a lot of ways, is avoid the insulin rise. And with a lot of these sweeteners, you're still getting that insulin rise. The second thing is coloring. I had a guy come in when we were in Cookville, visit us from Australia, and he talked about how there's so many different things that Australians can't have in their country from the U.S. can allow. Like, for example, he used like Doritos. There's certain ingredients in like Doritos and cheese puffs and things like that that they can't have in Australia. So what these companies do is they make these products. They make them an Australia product, they make a U.S. product, because Australia does not allow these certain things in their country. For example, blue dye. Like, they can't have blue M&Ms in Australia. I don't get it. I haven't done tons of research on the blue M&Ms, but they can. If you have done research on the blue dye for the blue M&Ms, please answer that. Fill me in on that. Let me know. I'd love to see some links on that. But the reason the coloring things is a big deal is because it's a dye. It's artificial, chemically things that we're putting in our body, and people eat with their eyes before they eat with their mouth or their nose. They see something that looks appealing. Blue is an appealing color. Just using that as an example. And flavorings. People, a lot of times people don't like the way real food tastes because they were raised on things that were artificial. My mom is a wonderful woman, a saint in so many ways, but I was not raised in a home where we ate real food all the time. I ate, honey buns and chocolate chip cookies every morning for breakfast. Just the way it was. My mom's a great mom. It's just what we did. And so typically a lot of people will get used to flavorings that are so pleasing to their palate, and it's just like a drug. The more sugar we can consume, the more we want, and the more we want, the more we get used to, and the more we need more. It's the most addicting drug on the planet. So hey, I hope this helps right here. So, but to answer your question, Chip, yes, good food should be real food. But yeah, this is why I think a lot of this is a marketing thing, from the artificial sweeteners to making it 0 calorie, to the colorings to make it appealing to the eye, and to the flavors, because the flavors are what we're used to. Those are the things that sell food because they taste better. So hey, ask them questions. We'd love to answer your questions as best as possible. Our opinions are our opinions, and we hope that you can test them on yourself. The best proving ground and the best way to test these things is through your own self. So hey, have a wonderful day. If you have any questions, please email us info@mealfit.co, or you can get on Instagram, find us at Instagram @mealfit.co, or on any of the other social media platforms. So thank you so much, guys. We look forward to talking to you soon.